What up YouTube, I am the Communist Messiah. Anyone who has ever been on a religious video will have seen at some point or other Pascal's wager being used as an argument. For those who don't know, Pascal's wager is the philosophical argument for belief in God, notably the Christian God. Essentially, it states that it is better to believe in God and be wrong than not to believe in God and be wrong. Now, on the surface, without looking anywhere into this statement, just looking at the words on the page, it seems logical. After all, if I believe in God, then I should have lived a good and sinless life, supposedly. And if I'm wrong, then I won't be around to feel bad about it afterwards. However, if I don't believe in God, then I'll live a life of sin and burn for eternity for not believing in God. This makes sense on the face of things. However, once you start to investigate further, any further, you dig 1 inch into this argument, it becomes completely null and void. One reason is that it demands that we believe in God, but not that we act upon it. As most apologetic Christians will tell you, Christianity is, at its heart, a faith-based religion rather than an act-based one. This suggests that no matter how good a person you are, whether you live by the laws of the Bible without knowing it, if you don't believe in Yahweh, God, Jehovah, Shaddai, whatever the hell you want to call him, then you'll burn forever. This seems to totally defeat the purpose of Christianity, as well as negating many of Jesus' teachings that focus on actions. I know many Christians, like going to a Catholic college, it's kind of hard to avoid that. But they have sayings that support their faith. Those sayings are, no prayer without action, and kind faith, not blind faith. For them, faith is only part of being a Christian. The rest is down to action. Therefore, Pascal's wager to suggest that faith alone is required seems to destroy many of Jesus' teachings. Additionally, I've seen the argument before that Pascal's wager could be used to encourage belief in a God, but not the God. Once again, this seems to suggest a bit of truth, that we should believe that there is something out there, but we shouldn't immediately assume that it's this one. But that can't work. Like, people have said that we should swap the name God for Zeus or Osiris or Ganesh or insert another god here. But the argument doesn't actually support any of that. And here's why. Zeus and Osiris actually, well, if you read the myths, actually didn't care whether people believed in them or not. It certainly didn't affect people's ability to enter various afterlives. In Egyptian mythology, after your death, you were brought before Osiris, and he would weigh up your evil actions against the feather of Ma'at. And if your sins outweighed your virtue, then you'd be tortured for eternity, which is actually where the Christian idea of hell comes from. It doesn't come from Judaism. Jews don't believe in hell. However, if you were a good person, then you would spend eternity in absolute bliss and splendor. There was no emphasis on having to believe in Ra and Shu and Osiris and Isis and all that. There was no emphasis on that. You didn't need to. As long as you were good, you got to the afterlife. If you weren't, you were tortured forever. It's that simple. Even today, most faiths put action before belief. There are, of course, a few exceptions, but that means that Pascal's wager can only be used to support faith in the Christian God. So we can't even legitimize Pascal's wager by turning it around to support belief in a God. You can't even do that. But it leads us to the main flaw in Pascal's wager. It is better to believe in my God and be wrong than to not believe in my God and be wrong. There are literally thousands of organized religions in the world today, and countless more unorganized, like agnosticism, Cartesian or non-specific theism, or some types of pantheism. Yet the argument from Pascal's wager suggests that out of those thousands upon thousands of potential true gods, it is best to pick the Christian God and believe in him. So it takes Pascal's wager, which comes across as a 50-50, you either believe in this one and you're right or this one and you're wrong. It takes a 50-50 chance and turns it into 1 in several billion because of the different combinations of religions. It's no longer, I believe in God or I don't believe in God. It's, I believe in this God. So you are actually far better off taking the gamble for various other act-based religions rather than faith-based ones. That's why Pascal's wager doesn't work. If Pascal's wager supported act-based theology, then maybe it would have a point. But it doesn't. So it can't possibly work. See you, YouTube.